lecturers. I'm Sherly and I'm from Group 2. Me and my friends, Michael and Clement, are going to tell you all about how Tinder disrupt an industry.
So this is Tinder. So what Tinder actually does is target an overlooked market segment. Not the technology though, is the key success to Tinder's success. Well, this is why Tinder disrupted the industry and why we decided to look even deeper into it. So Tinder targets an ignored customer segment, which is young adults. The user interface in Tinder has game-like features like swiping left, swiping right, and very many rewards. This is a problem because people are more hooked into the rewards rather than the prizes value. The virtual space of Tinder just makes it very easy for users to communicate without actually meeting each other. Also, people describe it as really fun, although Tinder doesn't have its own high quality matchmaking system or any of its great cutting edge technology. And also, unlike any other mobile devices, Tinder is usually focused on appearances only rather than actually meeting matches and actually finding each other's preferences. Though, nevertheless, this made Tinder the biggest industry leader with over 10 billion in net worth. So, Tinder has game-like features which motivate users to play and to unlock parts of communication. Setting up a Tinder profile is very easy. It's as easy as ABC. First, a user creates a profile by connecting it to Facebook or actually inputting their email address and other bio data. They also upload their pictures from Facebook or from their phone gallery. Second, you're all done. You're supposed to swipe left or right. Enjoy the fun, look for people, and then once you get a mutual match, which is from a mutual swipe right, so the other person swipes right and you swipes right, you can directly chat. And it's a part in the first step of matching conversation. If things don't end well though, you can always unmatch by clicking on the menu in the chat to end the conversation. So, our analysis and user app reviews of Tinder actually tell us how important Tinder's user fun experiences is. And also, it demonstrates how bad it performs in the technological dimension compared to other competitors. Tinder users describe their experience as fun twice more as likely than other competitors in the same segment. Applications who use fun, who incorporate their user experiences that is fun in their application and usually target the young user segment grow quicker and have more customers. Actually, with the great Tinder success, the app didn't have many cutting edge technology or had any algorithm to impose any promising dates. From a technical standpoint, it actually paled with the other competitors at the time and actually frequently crashed. Though, there were three things underlying Tinder's success. First, it actually focused on an overlooked segment. Second, it actually focused on young adults. And three, with game-like features such as swiping left, swiping right, and super light. It's a unique experience that users revere. So, we come down to the economic stand view of Tinder. First is opportunity cost. It is not possible to apply opportunity cost in Tinder as the definition of opportunity cost is the loss of other alternatives over a chosen alternative. This is because users can tend to match over with more than one match and simultaneously chat with multiple other matches. Second, monopoly. Actually, Tinder is a very great monopoly as it's owned by Match Group, which owns more than 45 companies operating all around the world. In game theory, it analyzes with three possible aspects: players, strategies, and payoffs. In this case, it's a man and a woman. The players can pick between being a spam or actually being selective over the recommendations. The payouts for this game are set below with the payouts for the man, woman, woman first. The best possible outcome is when both genders are selective of each other. That means both are actually mutually interested in each other. If the genders is selective and the other one is a spam, the one who is selective is happy because they get a decent number of matches and feel validated, while the other is unhappy because they aren't getting any matches.
Well, the important issues that we got from this case are the dangers associated with Tinder, the competition within the online industry, Tinder's algorithm, and the Tinder's gamification that cause people to be hooked with it. Well, the first thing that we're going to talk is actually the gamification. So, Tinder's gamification actually reinvent the meaning of good play, mixing it with the value or a trait from good dating. So, basically, good play, good dating in Tinder. Well, now Tinder actually hosted a live action event called Swipe Night. So, what is Swipe Night? It's basically an adventure event where the users can just play in a story and you can make choices that you want to choose basically, and those choices, the choices that you take is actually has direct impact to your matches, your potential matches in the future. And yeah, it is fun and attractive for young people, especially because it's an adventure. It's like a game that you play when you're bored, and it's part of the gamification of Tinder too. And actually, after you play the game, the choices that you took will be shown on your profile, and you can talk about this adventure in Swipe Night to your future matches. Well, the next one we're going to talk about Tinder's algorithm. The first one is L rating system. So basically, users will rise in rank based on how many right swipes that they get or how many like that they get. They will get an increase in score per like that they get. The next one is the longer time that you spend on Tinder, then the worse options that you will get. Why? Because Tinder actually recycle all the options or choices that will be matched with you. So the people that you didn't like at first will just showed up after after how many minutes that you spend in Tinder. Next is your matches is actually based on your local population dynamics. The last one about Tinder algorithm is actually don't swipe too much because Tinder will consider you as spamming just to get random matches. And the next thing that we're going to talk is actually the competition within the online industry. So Tinder is actually owned by Match Group, and Match Group own other many other online dating companies or dating related companies. And its biggest competitor is actually Bumble. In the US, for the first quarter in 2019, Tinder and Bumble compete head to head, and they both became two of the most downloaded dating application in the US. And the people who uses dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and many other are actually start from people in their 18 to people in their mid 30s or sometimes their 40s. The last one, we are going to talk about the dangers within Tinder. So, there are predators in Tinder that look for underage teenagers just to communicate with them or even harm them because they can make just fake profile with fake age. The next one is actually pictures. Profile pictures can show the user's exact location because in Tinder, the system of Tinder, actually you will be matched or you will be provided the options of people within a certain mile radius. And sometimes profile pictures can show the user's exact location, so it is dangerous. Next is scams. There are people who create fake profiles just to scam people, like sending out the links for the users to click. Um, the, ne- the next is Tinder promotes sex. Because Tinder has become one of the best apps for people to look for hookups or one night stands. The last one is Tinder superficial premise. Tinder actually causes people to make quick judgment whether they want to get to know someone just based on their profile or appearance. And that's it for the important issues.
Now we're going to talk about our group study comparison. The first case here is between Shopee and Tinder. In Shopee, they use gamification process to shift it customer experience. This gamification process attracts more customer and more traffic in the application itself, where customers could gain coins by playing some games. So that's why it's interesting for the Shopee users, and it's almost the same like Tinder, where you can swipe left, swipe right to make it easier for them to uh, use the application and make it more interesting. For the second part of this study comparison, we use Airbnb as another example where they have a similar features with Tinder. Um, I explained little bit about Airbnb and what they were doing, and Airbnb are able to rapidly expand the market on cost-conscious people when traveling during peak seasons. Of course, when you are traveling during peak seasons, the cost of a hotel is very expensive, and sometimes it could cost you a lot of money. It's become a burden to you, liability, and then Airbnb are able to target this niche segment market for them uh, rather than competing with large hotel chain. They use houses for the services, for the lodging services. And what Airbnb have been providing them is an instant matches for consumers, and those consumers are able to review each other whether you are a good person or not, a good renters or not, and it makes the application to be more trustworthy, and more people are starting to trust the application more. And without this lodging service that they maybe never experienced before, Airbnb would not be what we feel like today is. So now I'm going to talk about Tinder and Bumble. So I go ahead explaining Bumble first, and then after that Tinder. So Bumble is an online dating app where women are expected to do the first move or the first step to start a conversation with its mates or with a male. And then Bumble, for its marketing, uses a feminine approach where uh, they could host regular events throughout the country. And by doing this, Bumble encourages more women and more females to be more considerate when starting a conversation. And it makes the ambience in Bumble where quality of the matches is more important than the quantity of the matches. Well, on Tinder side, on the other hand, are usually used for hookups rather than finding long-lasting relationships. For registration in Bumble, you will be faced with a lot of predetermined questions to determine the matches that are more suitable for you, and to increase the chances being matched by someone you could really get along with. Well, on Tinder side, it has some features that are more better than Bumble. It has a better privacy and security, and then it has a behavioral matchmakes, and it displays the age of the users. Online dating in 2020 has been facing or had been witnessed a downfall where for the last decade there have been a lot of pursuing of online dating, but in these pandemic days there have been a downfall, and for applications such as Tinder, Bumble, and other applications that are depending on online dating or its use for online dating has been telling its users to go for online meetings or virtual dates. And in these coronavirus days, it has also been a challenge that where the person you're dating with or the person you're matched with, where he or she is a real person or a fake person. It's hard to deceive that nowadays, as somebody could use someone's identity to do the dating. And yeah, and also regarding the coronavirus and online dating, many dating apps have taken this opportunity for revenue streams. Moreover, the top dogs of the industry have saw a rapid growth from February to March, according to a data served by Apps Ecosystem Analyze.
Well, now I'm going to talk about our first scholarly resources. The first journal, it actually talks about how education is benefited by gamification because it increased the students' motivation and also it increased the engagement in the class. And Tinder actually has redefined gamification with its strategy.
So this case is our second journal. This case talks about putting game-like features in Tinder and how it reduces the seriousness of its dating app. Basically, it makes Tinder's use everything but dating for most of its users.
While Tinder's focus more on young adults, and by gamificating the application, it shifted the user experience to view the apps to be more fun and more enjoyable. Tinder can be said to be a prime example of implementing the gamification process, where it attracts users for swiping left and right and by matching each other to and suddenly it turned into one competitive game with other consumers. Gamification process or gamification technique in application or online dating app like Tinder is an amazing features. It's a triumphant features, as application use different types of players for its gamification technique. But sadly, the impact of this gamification process could bring negativity when misused.
So that's all for you guys. Thank you for watching and see you